Okay, well, welcome back. Again, we were talking about solving multi-step equations. Okay, so what we're getting into now is the idea of fractions and decimals in equations. Okay, you're going to have to add this into the side of your notes. There's not actually a spot for you, so off to the right you should have plenty of room to fill this in. Okay, fractions and decimals in equations. You can get rid of fractions and decimals in equations through multiplication. For fractions, multiply by the common denominator. Okay, so sometimes they're different. If they're the same, just multiply what that denominator is. For example, on that one, if we were to say like 1/2 and 1/4, if I multiply by 4, because that would be the common denominator of these, it's going to get me, let's say we're just adding 4 times 1/2 is going to give me 2, and 4 distributed into 1/4 is going to give me 4/4, which is 1. Now I can combine those. Again, there's going to be equal signs, so we're going to have to do that to the other side as well. Okay, and we'll get into that more. I'm more focused on you getting this piece right here. Okay, for decimals, multiply by the power of 10, depending on how many decimal places there are. If we were just saying like 0.02, I would want to multiply by 100 to get rid of that. So if it was like this, if I multiply by 100, I get 2x. Okay, if I just had 0.5y, I could multiply simply by 10 and I would have 5y. That way I can get rid of decimals. Okay, so let's look at this problem here. What is the solution of 3x divided by 4 minus x divided by 3 equals 10? Okay, well, I have fractions. So I have two routes I can do. I can multiply everything by 4 and then multiply everything by 3. Or I can just find out what the common denominator is. So I'm going to say, what is my common denominator between 4 and 3? So what's the first number there in common? Well, 4 goes 4, 8, 12. Okay, well 3 goes 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, so I can kind of go through that relatively quickly and find the first one that matches up when we're counting by those. Okay, and a quick way is you could always just multiply the bottoms together. But what I want to do in this problem is I want to go ahead and I'm going to multiply this side by 12, and then I'm going to multiply this side by 12. Okay, 12 times 4, or 12 over 4, excuse me, as we multiply this through. The 12 and the 4 is going to cancel to give me 1. This is going to cancel to give me a 3 on top. Oops, I didn't put that in a very good spot. It's going to put a 3 on top. And when I do that, it's going to give me 3 times 3, which is 9x. And it's over 1, but I don't need to write that. When I take the 12 times this, I can get 12 over 3, and 12 divided by 3 is 4, so I'm going to have minus 4x. Okay, and then the other side I'm going to get 120. 10 times 12 is 120. So you'll notice no more fractions. Okay, and all I'm doing is distributing this through to the fractions. Okay, and if you need to, rewrite this as 12 times 3x and then divide by 4 and work that whole thing out. 12 times 3, okay, what do you get? Well, I get 36. 36 divided by 4, I get 9. Okay, and the other one, I would take 12 times x, then divide it by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. That's really what I was doing, but I was kind of doing the shorthand there. Okay, 9x minus 4x, well, that gives me 5x equals 120. Okay, and now we're back to just one step. Divide by 5. Okay, you get x equals, and as we work through that, you get 24. Again, go through and check your work. Show that when I plug into this printed problem, that's what I get. If you're not fully grasping this distributive property, star that, ask me in class, and I'll be sure to help you. Okay, here's that problem with decimals. As we look at this problem with decimals, count how many decimals I have. I have 1 there, I have 2 there, and I have 2 there. So the largest is 2. So that means I want to multiply everything by a 1 with 2 zeros, or 100. Okay, so I'm going to multiply everything by 100. 100 times 3.5 is going to give me 350 because I got to move the decimal 2 spots. Subtract 100 times 0.02x is going to make that 2x. Okay, moving that decimal. Move this decimal 2 spots, I get 124. Okay, now I'm back to that one multi-step here, 2 steps. I'm going to subtract 350 from both sides of the equation. So 350 on both sides. I'm left with 2x, or negative 2x. Don't forget this negative sign. That's what a lot of people forget. It's still there. And 124 minus 350, I get a negative 226. And then I'm going to divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. I get x, because that's going to be positive now. This will be positive, and it's going to be 113. Okay, so there would be what we think our answer is. And again, I'm going to be looking for your checks, so check your work. Okay, and again, here's some practice problems. This incorporates the first video and this video. So at the bottom of that page, you got a little room to do 3 problems. Go ahead and do these 3 problems. They're going to give you some help with working through fractions and decimals and stuff there. Okay, and again, there's always Twitter or discussion board online to go to.